happened in the 90s.
4 years, Intel technicians have been making PCs smarter. Now they face their greatest challenge ever.
Hey, no one messes with my brain until I get sprinkles. Suckers.
Now anyone can have all the brain power they want. Just look for a PC with an Intel processor inside.
By eliminating covalence inhibitors, we create triple-dense carbohydrates and thus the so-called super donut. Ooh. Many of you mock my interest in the pastry sciences.
What do you have inside?
No!
Anybody the biggest Nate Dogg fan that I know of?
I honestly, first of all, this is an acknowledgement that I need to slap my goddamn self, because what we're going to talk about, I didn't even know about till I was in film school. After you had gone off to Texas, Jordan went off to Florida. I went to Florida too, shittier part, Orlando, and went to film school and met one of my other best friends, Aaron. And one day we were hanging out, you know, smoking, doing whatever we do. And he's like, dude, have you ever heard this double album that Nate Dogg came out with?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what are you talking about? Double album? He's like, yeah, it came out in like the late 90s. I had never heard of this ever, Steve.
Me either, man. And you know what? I think that's somewhat our fault, but also you got to look at the time when the album was released, man. This was summer of 98. And, you know, we're in the No Limit era where they're dropping an album just about every week, every Tuesday, and sometimes two from that company.
They had a lot of people, though. I mean, they had a thick crew, Steve.
Yeah, man, and we're getting jiggy around this time. It's getting more Sean Combs, Puffy, Diddy, Daddy. We've got Mace still around. That whole movement. Jigga, he was kind of on his flashy shit at the time, and you know.
But I think also this was all those eras you said. This was when Death Row was dying. And I think what happened here was a contractual thing where Nate Dogg was trying to be out of Death Row. So they were like, fuck you. We have this double disc that we haven't released yet. We're just going to shelve this. So I think it was supposed to come out in 97 and it actually came out in 98, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah, 98.
Let's tease it here, Steve, because I got a lot to say about fucking G-Funk Classics Volume 1 and 2. Either or.
Yeah. And like West Coast in general, man, wasn't really popping around this time. I think it was kind of East Coast, like a lot of New York cats. The South was starting to get some shine. Like I said, with No Limit, you got Outkast. They're coming up the ranks, Goody Mob, and you know, Harlem with Cameron. You got, like I said, Mace. That's Harlem. Same thing with Puffy. Wu-Tang, they're still around, and it's just a good time, man. And DMX is here. Yeah, his first album. Like 98 was the year of X, man.
I just feel like Nate Dogg, I mean, rest in peace. He's, you know, unfortunately has passed, but he needs, I hopefully is, at least in my heart, is like, he's the hook king. If you wanted to have a song that was going to be a fucking fire ass song, even if you sucked at rapping, and he's done a lot of features. I mean, I think a lot of people know his features more than they would some of these songs, but he will kill a fucking hook. It doesn't matter. And I think there's something about his voice that it's been done before. You know, people have it's almost like a crooning, like rap / R&B thing. And I don't know, man. I've always just,
it's a perfect blend that makes him unique, man, because yeah, you've had R&B people or crooners on rap songs, but like, he's got that perfect like delivery with the like bassy, like smoky tone. And it's like that. He's got that drip. Like the kids say, the voice has that drip. It's got that swag, that gangster to it. That makes it solidify. Like if I'm a gangster rapper, if I want somebody singing my shit, I can get one of these little peach fish starlet R&B chicks, or I can get what's fucking selling like hotcakes. No matter who you pick, whether it's Fabulous, whether it's Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, it don't fucking matter. I can collaborate with whoever. It could be me and SpongeBob, and they'll be hell.
Hell yeah, dude. Plus, also, what I love about Nate Dogg is, you're right, he'll be on a Ludacris. He has all these features that he's done. He has his own albums, but he'll even, and this sort of gives more credit to what I was saying about him killing a hook. He'll be on an album with like a guy that you've never heard of. There's a guy named, like, I think his name's like Shade Shista, or I mean, I forget the guy's name, but I found his song randomly because it had Nate Dogg on it, and it's killer because Nate Dogg's on. So I mean, this guy's gonna be he could be in a fucking like bootleg ass, one of those guys selling a mixtape on the corner of a highway someplace, shitty production value, and if somehow he had the money to get Nate Dogg on it, it's gonna be a fire ass song, Steve.
Well, he's from LA too, and so you got to think, man, for every Nate Dogg and like DJ Quick and Snoop Dogg and Cube, man, there's a shit ton of cats, like not just from LA but from Cali, who we haven't heard of. And he's probably met some personally along the way, be like, hell yeah, I get on your shit,
dude. I know why I love Nate Dogg so much is because seriously, it's because of the song Regulators. I don't think, there's not a lot of perfect songs out there, but I say what you will. That song, it was a time and a place. I remember listening to that. I don't give a fuck what kind of kid it was. Suburban kid, ghetto kid, fat kid, black kid, white kid. I had friends at church that we would listen to that song. And it was just fucking that good. And that was the first time I ever heard Nate Dogg, I think. And ever since, man, anytime he's on some shit, and even in college, we would be fucking, in the car smoking weed with our buddies, and whatever, Regulators came out when
94 when Above the Rim came out. Yeah,
exactly. And then like 01, 02, he was still fucking killing it. I mean, he's killing it for a long time. And again, you're not going to find a voice like his.
Like, it's interesting that you said like you first like found out about him on Regulators, but I think what like really kind of like first endeared him to the masses was his feature on Snoop Dogg's debut album Doggy Style with It Ain't No Fun, because that was like I don't know, you could argue that is the first song that wasn't a single that people just knew because of the way it started, and it was started by Nate Dogg. When I met you last night, baby, before you opened up your mouth, I had a respect for you, lady. Now I take it all back. I mean, and like,
it ain't even no people fun if the homies can't get done.
And even when you get to the part where you're like, cause I have now, you could be the most gangsterous motherfucker, goon, fucking out and shot 5 people this morning. Girl that I have loved. It's just in you. It's just like the Shawn Michaels song, Sexy Boy.
Yeah, it don't matter, dude.
Oh man.
And he did, and it's also crazy to think of like at a time and place where nobody knew who these guys were, that in some moment in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a room with a Snoop Dogg, a Nate Dogg, a Warren G, and a bunch of those guys. Nobody knew who the fuck they were, and they were about to just like annihilate. I remember one time, dude, I was so fucking mad. When I lived in LA, right up the street, they built fucking weed stores everywhere, but there was this one. And Warren G did like this huge fucking like appearance there and like sold weed, but he did like a little mini concert. It was right down the street and I had to work. I couldn't go to it. And I was fucking pissed. But yeah, dude, Nate Dogg, shout out Nate Dogg. I want to quit because we're going to keep talking. We're going to get more in depth in this here shortly, but this ties into not knowing about some shit way too late, Steve. So I'm going to flip it. And I kind of teased this to you on the phone the other day, but, for whatever reason, I went in a YouTube rabbit hole. I was watching just something about the movie Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, which I've talked about before. Yeah. It's a Billy Zane romp. It's a fucking gem of a movie.
Your guy.
Dude, Zane, dude, I'm telling you, you need to get on the Zane train. But I found out something that there was a director slash cinematographer who I've heard of. I know who this guy is, but I had no fucking idea that this guy directed three of my favorite movies, Steve. He directed Tales from the Crib Demon Night. He directed the movie Juice with Tupac and Omar Epps. And he directed the movie that Steve, I will fucking punch you in the goddamn teeth if you haven't watched it. He directed the movie Bulletproof, Steve.
Dude, you know what? I wanted to, and like it's on my list, but dude, like I have not even been able to watch our shit in the last 2 weeks. You want to know how I'm doing, Matt?
No, I mean, I know how you're doing, but tell the people, everybody. You want to hear some shit?
The world can suck my dick, people. That's how I'm feeling. The quality on my end probably doesn't sound as good this time around for you guys, but yeah, I have to resort to my blue cumball mic because my Shure just ain't for sure, despite the fact I paid over 2 bills for this fucking thing. Only been a couple months, and the USB port just got jiggly and wiggly and loose, and it just fucking fell in. And so the only thing I can do, because I don't have the monies to get warranties when I buy things, I have to send it back to Shure, and I'm not sure if Shure can remedy the fucking situation. I hope. I like to think they got at least a year. We're like, oh yeah, sometimes we fucking fall asleep at the machine.
Well, they need to do something because this shit is flimsy as fuck. I mean, I know what happened because I was worried it was going to happen on mine, but as good as the fucking mic is, I mean, this is a mic you see like Andrew Schultz uses, Joe Rogan uses it, Thompson, all the podcasters that you know, yeah. All of them use it. But I'm telling you, this fucking shit right here, somebody fucked up the engineering just a little bit. Great fucking thing, but this thing,
dude. Person who's responsible for the USB ports in these Shure M7-8s, whatever the fuck, suck a dick. Okay, just like the world can suck my dick right now at the moment. And then like when I have time outside of my 9 to 5, I like, it's been to other things that just been blowing up all summer. My fucking summer of 2022 has been the antithesis, the complete opposite of a blockbuster. It's been fucking suck fucker.
Chud Scrummer, Steve.
Chud Scrummer. Yeah.
Steve, somebody get this man some pussy and some a little bit of relief on the stress. Like somebody help this guy out a little bit.
I got the sex. Okay. Like, you know, and the weird thing about life, Matt, when it, somehow, some way, somewhere, I get the sex in times when I don't deserve it.
I've found that long in the past, Steve, before I met my wife. I mean, you would just run upon it sometimes. You're like, man, I made this chick come pick me up in a car because I can't even afford to get on a bus. Somehow I just fucking stumbled into some puss here, but that's great. Thank you, world.
I should not be playing with your titties at this stage in my life, but I really appreciate you. All heroes don't wear capes. All angels don't need wings.
Whoever this mysterious woman is, Steve, I feel like you need to say this when you're like right about, well, either after or before you're like, you know, sucking on those tits. Just be like, I just want you to know, like, thank you. Are you an angel?
See, you've known me long enough. Please believe I'll say enough corny things along the way. I don't need to like make her dry up completely. I'm sure I'll say other corny ass TGIF shits. But dude,
man, you got to. That's part of the romance, Steve. You gotta be a Billy Zane every once in a while. You gotta. And
I had to put my way to her fucking house. Like she lives in she has a nice house in a very nice neighborhood, and I put it my piece of shit car because it's giving me problems again. And people get over on you so much here, man. Like I gave this cocksucker $100 for his mobile fee and to diagnose my fucking car. He plugged his little ticker tank machine into my car for like a couple minutes, says I'm done. Oh yeah, that'll be $100. Usually it's 150, but I do it. So like, all right, man, so you gonna fix it? It's like, oh man, I got another move to make. And so like, dude, that was my lesson, that get this part and replace it yourself. So it is my ignition coil. and I replaced that fucking thing. And people, holla at your boy. You need your ignition coil replaced. I'm the man, but I do charge a mobile fee, and you got to get the parts.
It's understandable.
You know, I'm not even going to front, like, you know, or you already know what it is, but people, this is a podcast for keeping it all the way $1,000 with you. Life sucks. The summer of 2022 can suck my dick. The sun can suck my dick. Like vitamin D's nuts. You're so overrated. I'm more of a moon guy. And Matt, you know something about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I fucking love them.
Oh,
they're
God,
great,
yes,
delicious treat, right?
yeah.
But when it is your all day, every day diet plan, it don't hit the same. And it's not necessarily the taste. It still tastes good, delicious treat. I think it's the sadness that interferes with the PB&J experience. Like the tears illuminating from my eyes are just kind of blocking this enjoyment. And
I've been there. I know what you're talking about, Steve. Let me tell you, 6 years ago, even this was even before that, but right before I met Kendra, right? We're in LA. We have an apartment we barely can afford. So, you know, I don't know whenever this was, but self-checkouts had become recently like a thing. So I developed a way to just kind of get around paying for groceries for a while because I had to. So I ate only peanut butter. I didn't even have the bread because I wouldn't have let myself eat carbs because I was doing the psycho workout stuff. So I had peanut butter, I had eggs and beans and apples. And that's all I could eat. Beans, I would get white beans. I would maybe get a bag of frozen. I would get a bag of frozen vegetables, which costs nothing. I would mix that with the white beans. I would cook 6 eggs. And I would put mustard in the beans. And you can ask Aaron. It was disgusting. I can't.
Why you got to get white beans?
I just... I throw a black bean in, Steve. I throw a red bean in, but it was a bean. In there. And I'll tell you, dude, I was in the best shape of my life, but it was struggle food. And you can ask Aaron, we maybe about 45% of our groceries that we got, the more expensive shit, we figured a way to, there was a lot of walking out of a grocery store praying that you weren't about to get like, here, yo, stop.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet because motherfuckers in Atlanta shoot. But you know, struggle food can be made into gourmets. God damn it. You know, peanut butter jelly still goes hard in a fucking hard in the fucking paint.
Toasted.
Dude,
There's a new
raw,
thing. Fuck it.
Throw some ice in your milk, some flavored milk. And you know, speaking of struggle. I don't even know if my shit is jelly or jam. That shit just says Concord grape. And it is what it is. I'm just going to pretend the shit is Concord grape. It could be used apricot, rotted Merlot grape. The shit just said Concord grape. So one day I'll get back to being able to get jam or jelly as advertised on the fucking can. You know, it's just down the aisle from the shit that says purple. Like I'm one bad decision away from like getting purple in peanut butter. Like it's a mix up. Like we got some purple shit in here, put it in preserves, and here you go. We got purple. I
don't know, man. I like what, you know, we're just having a discussion. We're talking about some loose episode this week anyway. But one thing I was talking about my dad about today is that you know, you're struggling, and I mean, even now, like I got medical bills and shit. I'll never own a house. I have shitty credit. I'm fucked because I went to college and shit. And I don't know a lot of people in our age bracket, in our you know, among our peers. Maybe this speaks to the quality of us, but I don't think it does. That are homeowners and shit. Like I feel like there's a lot of people now. Like it's almost impossible to work a regular job, no matter what it is, and get enough fucking money to not be struggling. So that, you know, in the 90s, I felt like my parents were killing it. But I feel like I'm doing the same, if not more work than I saw my parents do. And I'm not feeling like I'm ever gonna get to where they're at. You know what I mean? I don't even think that shit's gonna exist. We're not gonna be able to retire and shit. I mean, this is depressing, but I feel like that's a thing. It's kind of crazy, you know?
Well, I mean, that's one of the purposes our podcast serves. Thank you for attending our TED Talk. And to say about like where your parents are in life and what you're like ascribing to do, things were different. The prices were different. Like gas prices are different. The influx of population was different. You know, technology was different. You could get houses for way less. Like keeping your credit score up was probably easier. There weren't as many loopholes and rabbit holes you had to go through and shit. And scammers. Like speaking of technology, scammers didn't have means and ways of getting a hold of your personal shit. So like there's all this fuck shit that we deal with that they didn't have to.
I just feel like we got in that generation. We were like right at the tail end of it where everybody that I remember was saying you had to go to college. You have to go get a college degree. Even if you don't know what you want, go to college, figure it out, get a career. And now I feel like people are being told, you know, college isn't for everybody. It's expensive. Don't go to college. Do something else. And I wish somebody would have told me that shit, because I could have been working and that would have been fine. I felt like I got forced to go to college. And then once you're doing it, you're like, well, I gotta finish. And like in my case, I just kept getting loans to do that. And it's like now it's like, well, fuck.
Okay, about the college, man. You don't have to go to college to succeed in life, but you better have a plan, because if you go from high school into like, yeah, fuck college, you know, there people always resort to the Bill Gates example and people like that. But like Bill Gates, he obviously had a plan. He had some designs in mind and some ideas, and he ran with it. Like, I feel like for a lot of people who attend college, it's like a way of buying them time, because a lot of us going into college, we were 17, bro. We didn't have a plan. Like, we kind of like, oh, I want to do that. Dude. But like, if we did that day, we wouldn't have known where to start.
Dude, I picked my major when we went to do like the paperwork to sign up for BGSU. I didn't even know. The guy's like, what do you want to major in? And I was like, I don't know. What makes a lot of money? That's exactly what I said to the guy.
That's what I did when I first started. I was in marketing. I went to the
dude. That's exactly what he told. What the fuck? Marketing? What kind of dick suckery was this?
In fairness, though, Bowling Green has a highly esteemed marketing program, man. But I remember attending those classes with some of those fucking jerk offs, and they were just too tight. And I would daydream. I never forget. There was one day I daydream like, dude, like, this is very Harrisburgish, man. A lot of these chotch bros and shit, and I'm sure they're going to be successful. But like, damn, like I'm going to be rubbing like if I went this route, man. And it's just like, no, dude, this is not my passion. Like, I want money, but like, fuck that, dude.
You can't pick off of that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that pays well. You know, I'm sure they pay a guy to go fucking scuba diving some shit or to do something that pays well. But it's like, you don't want to be doing that for fucking 30 years. There ain't fucking shit you want to be doing for 30 years. And like, I feel like you of all people, it's interesting. Like, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like you had a plan. Like, you did some shit and you got out and you got a job and you actually you're doing it. It's like me, I got a degree in film, but it was like, as much as I tried to do that, I've just had to like square peg in a circle hole it in office jobs, because I can be charming. You know, when my mom and dad would always put me up to like around like older people in church and stuff. So I was comfortable, like, I don't know, talking to older people a lot. So I feel like whenever I had to start working in an office when I was like 20, I just did what I did, like, and sort of mimic that behavior. And I've always been good in an office, but it just sucks because, and I feel like a lot of people are like this. It's like, you might even I feel like now I'm actually getting paid something where it's not what I should be getting paid, but it's not like minimum wage shit. But no matter what you get paid, it's like, if you don't want to be doing it, especially in like an office thing where it's just like tedious. I do math all the time and shit like that, where it's like, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be doing anything like selling shit, especially I sell office furniture. Like,
from home though. You do it
exactly.
Well enough.
Don't think I don't like count that as a blessing, but I'm just saying, like, inside even if you're like making a little bit of scratch, you get to work from home, that kind of shit. You're just like every day, like if somebody talks shit to you, if something's just bothering you, if somebody's putting some stupid stress on you, office related, it's just like, I can't explain to, like, when I get into some shit with my boss, it's like, I can't explain to you how much I don't give a fuck about what you're talking. I don't give a fuck about numbers, sales shit. It's just like, I'm just trying to fucking do this job. So leave me the fuck, one of those things. And
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't know how many people get to do what they want for a living and like feel great about their job, but I just feel like now, I was talking to my nephew, like he's younger than us, obviously a lot younger, in like his early 20s, but I just feel like the thing now is like companies don't give a fuck about keeping somebody and like moving them up the ranks. They just get somebody, squeeze them for all the juice that they can, and as soon as it's done, they're like, hey, bye, when you like say some shit.
Yeah, we're gonna move your desk into the basement. Yeah,
it's not even that. They're like, bye. It's an at-will state. Like, we can just fire you. We don't like you anymore.
Well, I'm speaking from experience with fuck sports like that. I think sometimes that'll be a first attempt. We're like, okay, this person's been here for like 25 years. We're sick of paying this motherfucker 5 mortgages every other week. Let's do little fuck shit. Nudge them. Little mankind, little Mick Foley mind games with this motherfucker. Drive him batshit crazy, and then he'll put his 2-week notice in without a backup plan. But he's close to fucking Social Security anyway. He'll be all right. And then
I've seen all that shit, dude. I like in this company I'm about to say this about, like, I don't have anything bad to say about them, but this speaks to like the level of loyalty in just an office job. I got cancer, right? I was working at this place. I was doing well. Everybody liked me. They wanted to like I was a temp. They wanted to hire me, but I got cancer and I couldn't work. So I was just like, hey, bye. And the guy's like, hey man, like you got a job here whenever you want to, if you get better and when you get better, they gave me a bunch of money. They did like a fundraiser for me. They gave me like a bunch of stuff and it was great. But he looked me, he's like, you have a job when you're better. And I got better and the job wasn't there, so it's like businesses, no matter what it is, that company was great. I'm not even going to mention them. I still have a lot of good feelings about them, but there's no people, if you cause a fluff or it's like a company, like what you were saying, that big fuck sports company, they don't, it's like, if you're rocking the boat, they're like, you got to this is a system at this point. You can't fucking rock this boat, bitch.
And that's why having time off away from the place, like it's essential, because like I find myself like, man, I don't give a fuck who here be cussing. And like, dude, Steve, you need an off day. Smoke about it, refresh, because you don't want to have one of those keeping it real goes wrong moments. And I feel like recently, like I've been kind of like, I've done that in fuck sports. And so like, I'm off today. And really, this is what I want to do. Like, I work in television, but this is what I want to do. I appreciate my job for the things I appreciate it for. And this is happened in the 90s, boys and girls. And that's why they need to like, share, and subscribe. But like I said, though, this is happening in the 90s with Steve G and Mad G. And get out your Larry Bird jerseys and your N64s and jump around, jump around, jump around. Jump around, jump up, and get down. Jump. Everybody jump. I miss this.
Oh yeah. See, that's like a dance I can do. I just feel goofy, Steve. I'm too white, and I'm just like, I just can't dance, Steve. I'm not a doghouse, I'm never gonna be.
Can you teach me how to dance?
Please, somebody help me out.
That's
I gotta have an actual wedding at some point. Like I'm gonna have to dance at least once. That's not like a slow dance. So it's like
play 90s hits and all you like. That's the simplicity of 90s dances. The bankhead bounce, the fucking.
You don't want me to just like white boy dance it? Like, hey,
it would be dope if you busted out a pop lock, and start doing the fucking.
Did you ever watch Last Man on Earth with Will Forte?
Nah. Oh, I watched some of it.
There was a fat guy in that named Todd that pop locked when he got stressed out.
Like rerun shit.
Oh yeah.
I want to learn how to.
Hey, but we got into like the stress wormhole, but I do want to say something. The guy I said, that Ernest Dickerson dude, bro, he
Oh, we got
directed all
sidetracked.
those movies, and I didn't know one guy made all those. So just slap my goddamn self in the face for not knowing somebody who's a legendary cinematographer also directed some of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he got his start working with Spike Lee, I believe.
Yeah, he was a
He was
cinematographer on a lot of shit.
yeah, Do the Right Thing and whatnot, man. Ernest Dickerson, is he still with us? I
Yeah,
believe
dude,
he
he's
is.
working. I looked up his fucking thing on IMDb. I mean, he's just doing TV. But that guy did all those movies, and another 90s thing he did. He directed like 8 episodes of The Wire too. So that's pretty fucking dope.
Nice.
He directed that movie Bones with Snoop Dogg, where it was like a vampire movie. He
I
directed
remember
that.
that. I never seen it. Did
I
you? I
know.
feel like you had that.
I
You did
had
have
it, but I don't remember dick about it. I think it was shitty, but no, it wasn't. I love you, Snoop. It was great, but no, he's directing shit now. He's directing Bosch, something called DMZ, and something called Raised by Wolves.
Hmm. There you go, Ernest Dickerson. Bank
Get
head
it?
bounce.
Get it?
Man, and also this is a different mix-up of an episode. We're going to do another verses. It's been a while since we've done one. We're going to mix that up in our same scheme of things. We're going to talk about our top 5 90s TV intros of all time. Well, I guess of the 90s, not of all
Yeah,
time.
of the 90s.
Yeah. And then we're going to be talking about all things July 21st in the 90s. Starting off in 1990, Roger Waters and numerous guest stars staged a performance of Pink Floyd's The Wall in Berlin, Germany, to commemorate the fall of the Berlin Wall 8 months earlier. Scorpions, Cyndi Lauper, Thomas Dolby, Sinead O'Connor, the band, and Bryan Adams are among the performers.
Man, I would have loved to see that.
Now, our freshman year in the Harshman Brimfield, we played some Pink Floyd and The Wall specifically. Out of Pink
Dark
Floyd, I
Side of
think.
the Moon, I think, also a lot.
Oh yeah, we definitely did Dark Side, man. But I think probably more The Wall, man. And that was our way of showing the people who could buy us beer, like, hey, we know about your kind of stuff too. Hey, Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, dude. Can I get some Natty Light, bro?
I just feel like the only times I really ever listened to Pink Floyd was when I was on mushrooms. Because anytime in that farmhouse that we lived on Napoleon, anytime that we took mushrooms or anything like that, we would go up into Hert's room, turn on that Red Dog light, make the room trippy as fuck. And he had a record player, and I think it was Black Side or Dark Side of the Moon. It's the one with like, hello, hello, hello. Is there
Comfortably
any?
Numb.
Yeah, that and
That's
just
my shit.
just tripping balls. But I'm a Pink Floyd fan in that sense, and I've had a lot of great times listening to them,
Yeah.
but I don't know a lot about them other than like the standard shit.
Well, Roger Waters, he's kind of the brainchild. He was one of the original, I want to say, along with Sid Barrett. And they split up, once the other guitarist, David Gilmour, once he kind of like took the reins. There were creative differences around Wish You Were Here. And in my opinion, Wish You Were Here was like their last great album. I think that was after Dark Side in the Wall, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But I fucks with you, Pink Floyd. I fucks with you, Roger Waters, man. You're a fellow Virgo. You're still with us, bro. But also, we're going to do, I have an honorable mention for the verses, man. Before we really get into it, I want to talk about Darkwing Duck and how gangster that shit was.
Let's get dangerous.
Darkwing Duck, better watch out, you bad boy. Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
I like how he always gave himself a different intro before he kicked ass. Like, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am I am the butt cheeks that flap in the wind. Every time it was something different.
He had, and like every once in a while, you get like a DuckTales guy would show up. I think Launchpad showed up in that show once.
That was his Scottie Pippen, yeah.
But yeah, he had a fire ass fucking theme. Don't think I didn't think about putting it on there. It was close. It almost got in the top 10, but it wasn't in the top 10, Steve.
No honorable mentions for you?
Oh, I got 5 honorable mentions. You want me to just go right into the honorable mention? No. I'll get into the honorable mention.
I don't want to get into it. Like, we're gonna split them up, man. I'm just like throwing the honorable mention.
I'll throw one out there right now. Captain Planet.
The power is yours.
Ooh, I knew I was forgetting some bang. Oh, that's
some bangers. I sat down and thought about this because you wanted to do 10, and I said that was too much. But when I sat down and really put pen to paper, Steve, I thought of 10 right off the bat.
Yeah, because you wanted to do 3, and that was too little. I was man.
I also have our good authority that we only had one matching select, Steve. We only had one that matches.
I bet I know.
What is it? What do you think?
Oh, you don't like you were the kid that just on December 12th. Fuck anticipation.
Just let me roll. Let's just open one, Steve. Just one.
Because the one that I think it's my one, and I want to go and I got to order of mine. But in 1991, Ferguson Jenkins, Gaylord Perry, and Rod Carew, Tony Lazzeri, and Bill Veeck are elected into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. Yeah, he caught all kinds of hell. Good thing you could play stickball, kid.
I mean, there was a lot of fucking suspect. Bob Beek. What the fuck?
Hey, don't shit on Bill Veeck. Bill Veeck, he was a owner of the Cleveland Indians at the time, or for a time, and he's responsible for signing the first black baseball player in the American League. Frank Doby.
Me, I apologize.
Go Ohio.
Bill. Hey man,
Bill Veeck was.
I think I went to Cooperstown when I was a little kid. I don't remember, but
specifically for the Hall of Fame.
I think that's the only thing there, isn't it? There's nothing else there.
Oh, nobody like is a resident at Cooperstown. It's just like, oh yeah, this is just where we hold the Hall of Fame.
Dude. I mean, we lived in Pennsylvania. It wasn't that big of a fucking drive, but I mean, we had it in Ohio. Like the Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, right?
Yeah, but people actually live in Canton.
Yeah. You don't want to talk to those people though.
Unless you're Maurice Claret. I think he's from there.
Really?
Like somebody, some Buckeye that I like is from there. But Cooperstown, all I know about is the Hall of Fame. And maybe they do need to reserve that because the sport's like 500 years old. Like, yeah, we're going to need some space.
We need the town. We'll need the town eventually. Just not right now.
Because, we can, transform into holograms eventually, but yeah, we're gonna need some space.
Damn, Steve.
In 1982, Sonic Youth releases the album Dirty, and it's one of the albums I listened to in full this morning. It was cool, it was all right, but to give you a frame of reference, Matt, Steve G's review would be Matt wouldn't like this shit.
I can see I don't like Sonic Youth, Steve. I think people tried to like sell me on this brand a long time ago. I'm just not having it.
It's like, I think if it wasn't for the singing, like you would appreciate the music because it's got that 90s rock feel that you would hear in the background of an MTV before they go to commercial or some shit.
Is it like an Everclear, like that type of shit?
I wouldn't say Everclear because it's got some punk and grunge, and I know you're not a punk guy. But they mix it up. They got that grunge early 90s vibe. They're influential to a lot of that shit from that time.
Just real quick, is that a nut sack that's been embroidered behind you? What is that?
Looks like a nut hacky sack, but it is like a bird or like a happy chicken. I don't know. Like that was crocheted. It was like a crocheted chicken head or some shit. Bark, bark. But like some of the vocalists is like kind of marbled. They got this one song that goes blah, 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 but the music was tight.
Well, Sonic Youth, I'm not gonna shit talk you because honestly, I can't even think of a song you sang. And I didn't listen to this one, Steve. I got to be honest. And from the sounds of it, I'm glad I didn't.
Besides Steve and Matt, on July 21st in the 90s, who didn't listen to Sonic Youth, was Everclear and DJ Lethal. Because House of Pain releases their debut self-titled album with Jump Around, Jump Around, Jump Around, Jump Around. That was my shit.
That song was fire. I don't know any other songs off the album, though.
Did I call it, man, Everclear? I'm sorry, Everlast.
Yeah, I was like, did an Everclear CD or like album come out? And I just mystically said that shit.
You said it like a minute ago.
But shout out Everlast. Everlast is a fucking. He kept it going. He came out of this, did his own little shit. He's still popping. I think he had some health problems, but he's all right.
He's still with us and got on his acoustic. And Lethal, he moved on to Fred Durst and gang, man. And back in the early 90s when we had the box, I remember Jump Around being selected. You would have a 3-digit code to call in, select the video. This would be played, and they had another release called Shamrocks and Shenanigans, because they're based out of Boston or around that part, and Celtic pride and all of that. And the hook was like boom, shellac, lack, boom, boom, shellac, like that shit goes hard as fuck. But this album is pretty dope, man. They even had a feature from Be Real.
Yeah, I didn't have this, but I remember some of my like friends having this and us fucking blasting this shit back in the day.
Now,
I didn't know it was DJ Lethal though. I'm gonna be honest, Steve. I did not know that was the same guy from Limp Bizkit.
Well, like that's kind of how the Eminem feud kind of got involved. Like Eminem had name dropped Everlast a couple times, and DJ Lethal, because that's his boy, he had said some shit, and then Eminem name dropped DJ Lethal, and he included Fred Durst. Like, you want some of this too, bitch? You had Marshall. He's always up to something.
Oh, scamp.
Yeah. Yeah. But now let's go into 5 and 4, shall we, of this versus.
Okay. All right. I'm ready, Steve. I'm going to let you go first. We're going from the bottom to the top, right?
From the lick it to the split. Yeah. Well, my 5 is a show that just finally got released on streaming on Amazon Prime, and it's on Peacock. And we got to cover that bitch eventually. New York Undercover, goddammit. Don't hate on the saxophone. I'm sure that was a saxophone. It was like the modern Taxi of its time. Like Taxi was gangster as fuck in the 70s, no vocals, and I feel the same about New York Undercover. It was more like jazz and hip hop, because they had a black guy and a Puerto Rican guy.
I mean, I watched this because it was on reruns constantly. I feel like this is one of those first shows of this type, really, that lasted. I didn't remember the song, Steve, so I'm shocked. This was your number 5. I'm shocked,
man. But because we can only pick 5, and I think it was one of those at the time of the day, the frame of mind I had. I'm thinking, and New York Undercover just got released on streaming. It's like, that was a gangster ass song.
Hey, okay, that's your number 5. My number 5, Steve. I mean, it like in terms of popularity, mine's just gonna blow yours out of the water. I picked DuckTales, Steve.
Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales.
I mean, anybody that existed, like even now, they're probably watching that shit. It's probably about to be a movie again. They had fucking Scrooge McDuck in the fucking Chip and Dale's movie that just came out. So this was a big. I had the DuckTales Nintendo game.
Oh,
that shit was fire. That shit was so fucking fire. It was like Mario, like a platform.
So fucking hard.
Dude, honestly, I'm not even saying this as a brag. I got so intensely like addicted to that game when I got chickenpox when I was young. I got so good at that game that probably to this day I have the muscle memory. Give me 2.5 hours, I'll beat the whole game.
Dude, I remember that shit being difficult as fuck.
There was a lot of those games where you would rent for Nintendo or like, SNES that were like Castlevania games or shit like that, where it's like you would rage quit constant. Like eventually you'd be like, you'd have a game for like 2 to 3 days if you rented it. And sometimes I'd be like, I'm not playing it. Like, take this shit back. Fuck this. I don't want to be fucking miserable. But DuckTales, dude. I mean, I'm not even gonna do it injustice singing it because I'm too high to remember all of the words. But ooh, Steve,
Ding.
and I think I won that round. I'm
drop.
taking a dub on that.
Mic drop. Okay, shit. I'll take that L.
I'm taking a D-zub. And since I won that round, I'm gonna say my number 4 first. So Steve, when I wake up in the morning, my alarm gets off a warning, and I think I'm not gonna make it on time.
By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
Saved by the Bell, Steve.
This
is I got like mine are Titans. I got one that might lose because I don't think people agree. Kendra didn't even really know what the show was, but this one, Saved by the Bell, Steve, at number 4. What's my number 1 if that's number 4, Steve?
I can't even hate. I gotta do my villainy mustache shit. Iron Sheik. Oh, you pull out the Mark Paul Gosselers, the Tiffany Amber Theses, the Elizabeth Berkleys. Yes, man. Yes. Okay. You do the Locke Voorhees. Very beautiful. Well, you know what? That theme song can suck my dick because when I woke up in the morning, we're in 5th grade. It's 1993. I got my primetime Neon Dion. And who is going to kickstart off this 5th grade class today? The Go-Go Power Rangers. And you know what? And that motherfucker did it just like that with the stank ass. I just, you all, Power Rangers. I had to fucking
that
Bobby
shit was
Brown
fire. And Steve, this was the song. This was the one that we had similar, Steve. And if I'm being honest, we had them in the same spot.
Okay, we did 5 and 4. We still got some more July 21st.
I'm just saying, that's one that we shared. I can't say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I took that shit off my list.
That's the one. Okay.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. I had it at number 4 on my list. So we thought the same shit.
Okay.
That's why we work well together, except that you don't understand shit that I'm saying, Steve. Fucking suck it up.
I'm so excited.
You're scared because I pulled DuckTales out. You didn't even think of that shit. You're like, what did I forget? What is he gonna pull out? I'm gonna fucking you're about to see, Steve. Take us back to the fucking 90s real quick.
My life is a nightmare. And just like 1995, in 5 on July 21st, they were living in oblivion, just like the movie. This was Peter Dinkling's debut film, Dinklage. Is that man's government name? Because that's just not fair.
Isn't that crazy if that is his real name? I feel like that's like karma. Like you got the last name Dinklage, and God was just like, you know what? You got 3 kids. Time to pay the piper, bitch.
It's such an adjective, isn't it? Like, like whatever. If it's like Scottish or English, whatever. Like the old, like his family from like years and centuries ago, they were all petite, and Dinklage was like one of the terms. You're a Dinklage. And from
God, think if you were in Perrysburg, you're a 5th grade. He came to Perrysburg, 5th grade. He comes into class. His name's Dinklage. You don't even have to change it. You just have to say it smarmy. You just go, "Hey, Dinklage," and he's like,
exactly. That's when your girlfriend says to you when she's fucking upset, "You fucking where you going out with your boys with your little Dinklage?" Yeah, you weren't saying nothing about this Dinklage last Tuesday, bitch. Suck it. Suck a dick, bitch. But yeah, this was
Peter Dinklage got his, like, shout out to Peter Dinklage, because this motherfucker is like, he's succeeding where like handsome actors are failing. You know what I'm saying? They put him in Marvel movies and shit. It's like they're actually doing it because he's semi a good actor. It's not like you're not just playing like the goofy little guy role, you know?
Yeah, like you're Dorf. You're here. You want this role? It's not like they're doing like Precious. Like, hey, you're fucking gross. Here, this is the best. This
movie should be called You're Gross, but okay.
Like, yeah, we're really just going to turn this camera on and follow you around New York. But yeah, man,
this movie's called Ew.
Living in Oblivion. It also stars Catherine Keener, and she's one of those actresses I'm realizing like she's on my list of like favorite actresses. Without me like realizing she was in like a lot of shit that I like. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Dude, you know what? I knew this fucking movie. This is about making a movie, right?
Yeah.
They showed this to us all the time in film school because they like do like accurately portray a lot of like the jobs you do in film and shit.
It's pretty meta, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I mean, this wasn't one that I hated watching. You see, like it's got Buscemi in it. He's fucking good. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's just like an indie movie. It's kind of like an old school Kevin Smith movie, you know. And
it's got that guy. Like he's in something. He's in things that I've seen.
He's in The Departed. He's in that movie, that Tower of Steve, or not the movie. He had like a sitcom, that Tower of Steve dude, and he was in that. But he was like Leonardo DiCaprio's like dumb cousin in The Departed. And I think he's been in a couple other mob movies. He's always like the dumb like mob dude that like talks too much and shit.
And Dermot
Mulroney.
Is it Mulroney? Yeah, Dermot Mulroney. That's the guy with the eye patch. And unbeknownst to me, he was married to Catherine Keener for like years. I don't know if this is how they met, but
eye patch.
Yeah,
she's like, God, you have a most piercing eye, you beautiful son of a bitch.
Living in oblivion. Please like, share, and subscribe for more ways on how to suplex your girlfriend's brother on concrete. Now, we're in the midway mark. Let's do our number 3 to get them feet wet here. My number 3 is a staple of ABC programming in the 90s. It stars a dope man from Detroit. He's a fix-it man on the show, but in real life, he used to push that weight. Word to Rick Ross. And we're talking about none other than Tim the Tool Man Taylor, man.
Wow, okay.
And I know you didn't fuck with it. You said this in our early episodes, like, man, that shit corny. No, it's not, Matt. Down, down, down. Boom, boom, boom.
You're picking like, so yeah, it's like good musically, you know what I'm saying? Like you're picking good songs, you know. I respect it. Now mine, see, I'll be honest if you even know about this. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, because Kendra didn't know about it, but we're of the same age. So okay, I'm just gonna sing it. I'm gonna try this, guys. Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing can be arranged. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. Standing tall on the wings of my dream. Perfect fucking strangers, dude. It's fucking, it's inspiring. It's fun. It's a good, like, it's a nice little sitcom song. I feel like it stands like going up against Home Improvement. On the wings of my dream,
rising up,
the wings of my dream, the sun and wind and rain, better days.
My life, my dream, and nothing nothing's gonna stop me now.
So you know.
Damn, man, you just pulled my pants down and the paddle at the same time. And one fatal shit. Like, how you do that all in a millisecond? You just shit, motherfucker.
I told you, Steve. Like when you want to pick certain things because you have them in your head. But I put a list. I Jim Halpert this shit and pro and conned it, and I was like, man, we might have picked. Like maybe Steve was right. Maybe we needed 10 because there's just too many good fucking songs.
Kind of needed 10, dog.
But it's okay. I mean, I think it's more now. You're just sad because you're just getting annihilated. I mean, my select, Steve, my number 1 and 2. It's like I'm scared for your sanity because you have no idea what's coming. So, little tease for you, Steve. I'm winning. I'll give you 1. I'll give you round 4. I'll let you have that.
Round selections do matter. Yeah. Man, if the placement, I don't know, man, because the ones that you got some heat today, man. But somebody else that had the heat in 1996, July 21st, In Your House, Vince McMahon gave us a pay-per-view called In Your House 9 International Incident. And the main event was HBK versus Mankind for HBK's strap. Oh man, look at you. Late 90s graphics.
God, that shit looks like some shit a high schooler made. That's crazy. Also, what's crazy is looking at Sid Vicious on that because I think his eyes are rolling back in his head. He's gone psychotic at that point, Steve.
He's psycho.
He is
just
psycho.
Just like advertised. Look at
Why
that,
is it
man.
an international incident? What's foreign about that? Is this on foreign lands, Steve?
Yeah, because British Bulldog was involved somehow, even though he didn't fight HBK in this. Then the Canadians, you had the Hearts involved somehow, some way. But this time around, this week I was pressed for dime. My preparation sucks, and just like the world needs to my dick. And somebody who probably didn't watch this pay-per-view on July 21st, 1996, was the great one, Wayne Gretzky. He signs a 2-year deal with the New York Rangers.
And LA rioted, Steve.
Man, he went the opposite of Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell, he escaped New York, and then he was escaping LA. Wayne Gretzky was escaping LA Kings, and then he went to the fucking Rangers. The Rangers, you're the GOAT. You're the great. What are you doing with the Rangers? New York doesn't deserve you.
It's also just like you got to think of. I always think about this with him. How fucking good do you have to be at hockey to become worldwide famous? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knew who the fuck he was on SNL. Yeah, and it wasn't because he was a good actor or anything. It was just like you're that good. You're the Michael Jordan of this shit, and it's like how good was he at hockey? Was this motherfucker flying?
busting ass and precision, man, and getting those like accolades and records at such a rapid pace. That could do it.
And squeaky clean, like nothing wrong. He's like an angel, They just put him down here to play hockey, and that's it.
He's got an award-winning smile. Never, like you said, never heard about him being a dick. And still to this day, I think the only NHL player that's hosted SNL. That just shows you the magnitude of this man.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's crazy. It is wild. And that was a good episode too. I remember that being played a lot on Comedy Central, that Wayne Gretzky episode. He's got a skit where he plays ukulele and shit. He's fucking funny. And he had that dope ass cartoon with Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan too. That shit was
Pro Stars, who they totally had nothing to do with. Like I think they did like the opening vignettes, and then I don't even think they were all present for each one. You'd be like, oh, Mike's like, available.
Come out, hey Mike, come out of the locker room and just drink some Gatorade real quick. Okay, you're good. You shot out.
It's only a 5-second shot. And shout out to Kurt Russell, man. Fucking badass. Really cool guy. Over the week, he actually offered to produce my new parody. You remember Big Trouble in Little China? He likes the idea of my movie called Big Titties and Little Vaginas.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this? Cool?
Jack Burton, me.
Come on. Fucking the Pork Chop Express is fully on board with this, Steve.
Man, totally, dude. He loved the concept, and because I also pushed the envelope further, it's going to be Jerry Seinfeld infused, but it's going to be starring me. I'm going to be Jerry Seinfeld, and I'm going to be doing the commentary in my Jerry Seinfeld voice. Titties in the ass? What? Titties in the ass? What are you doing? Titties? Damn.
What's the deal with little titties and big pussy?
She's got big titties with little vagina. Big titty, how do you have big titties and a small vagina?
I honestly, Steve, I'm glad Kurt Russell signed off. I'm a little skeptical, but I love the guy and I love the idea. I mean, this is what the world needs this at this point. The world's going to shit, Steve. I need to see whatever insane fucking shit. Yeah, Kurt Russell. I mean, this guy, you want to talk about a king of the 90s. If we could ever get Kurt Russell on the show, you would literally see me just busting constantly on screens. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn couldn't help it.
Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
That's fucking Goldie Hawn.
Up, but I mean, even Captain Ron, Steve. I mean, even at his what some would call his lowest, which fuck you for saying that.
No, there's no besmirching in our presence of the one Kurt.
I'll fucking slap somebody in the teeth if they say anything bad about Kurt Russell. Anything, even like mildly, somebody. Even like benign. Even if they just say, "Yeah, he's all right," I'm gonna fucking go crazy. So be warned.
All right, this fucking dagger's going into your forehead. Like Kurt Russell's more than all right. Don't you ever?
This is an open and shut case, and anybody who can't see that is a savage and an idiot.
Okay.
But in 1998, Mixmaster Mike releases his album, Anti-Theft Device. I didn't get, I should have waited for this one for honorable mention because I didn't get enough time to check this out. But shout out to Mixmaster Mike. He's known for collaborating with Beastie Boys. He did Hello Nasty, The Five Boroughs, and other collabs with them, man. And a legend in his own right. But 1998, it gave us some gems, man, because what I'm very familiar with was the Wu-Tang Killer Bees, The Swarm. I'll never forget the day I bought this, man. It was the same day I bought El Nino, the Dev Squad at Walmart. And because of it being the Killer Bees and they're just so lyrical, I didn't even notice it didn't have the profanities, man.
This is one of the few Wu-Tang claims. I was a poser at this point in my life, Steve, in terms of Wu-Tang. So somebody that I liked bought this and they wouldn't let me borrow it. So I just went to Kmart and bought it. And I did not have the censored version, but yeah, even a fucking just shitty fucking complete poser of a kid buying this, like this was a fire ass album. I think I had this fucking CD in my little book in the Concord, Steve. I'm pretty sure I
remember seeing it. Yeah, dude. Like I didn't know you bought it when it came out, man. Like that, if you have this, that doesn't make you a poser. I think you pass. Because
it's not like it's posing at the time. Because I was like, oh yeah, Wu-Tang. Because it was like I was with some kid I wanted to hang out with, and he had it, but I didn't know anything about him. But yeah, there's like what's it called? Concrete Jungle is a song I think I remember off that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that shit sucks because I think I did that on. You mentioned Outkast. I went to Kmart by where we lived by Oakmont in that like mini mall, and I bought it thinking I was getting away with something because that sometimes you could buy those over there, and like my mom wouldn't know. I just get away with buying like a Jerky Boys CD or something. But I bought like AT Aliens there, and it was a censored version, and I'll never forget. I just had they wouldn't let me bring it back, so.
My mom wants to trick, and mama, I'm sucking ice cream cones. Oh, fucking
dude, that is so great. Like there's some evil guy that it's in some cases it's hilarious what they choose to do,
Oh yeah, especially some of those Eminem albums, if you can stomach it, man. But my shit on this album was 97 Mentality. I had a couple that I added to the playlist, but 97 Mentality is Capadonna with Ghostface really only there for the hook. Cabadown at one point says, I can't help it. My style stay fat like Roseanne. Oh, like just I love his style. Like,
what do you think of Ghostface? Where does he stand in your like? Here's my thing about Ghostface. I think him as a person is more cool than what I think of him as an actual rapper. I think he's an amazing rapper, but him as a person, like his whatever swag or whatever you want to call it, his personality is like top notch. Like a fur coat, a gigantic fucking eagle ring, like all like insane shades and shit. Like I remember seeing that. And he's a good rapper. I remember I had one of his CDs, but when he was on some, I don't know. I don't know shit about it, but that's what I always thought.
30 Rock. He was on 30 Rock for a cameo. And I remember freshman year, I played that, was it Bulletproof Wallets or Digital Wallets or something? That was Ghostface featuring Raekwon. But he's actually my favorite of the Wu-Tang Clan. And it used to be Method Man for years. And I think that was because he was the more promoted one in different movies and stuff like that, the more seen, recognizable. But like album wise and bars versus like solo albums, Ghostface, man.
Solo albums, he had a banger when I was in film school. I bought that. I don't remember the name of it, but
Fishtail.
I think it had like, all I remember is like the cover. I think it was like more of a white cream color, and I don't remember it now, but I'm not going to sit here and be like,
the Pretty Tony album, probably. Yeah,
but Ghost. I wish I had the swag of a Ghostface. He's like an astronaut level swag. He's off the charts.
Man, the Wally B. King, man.
Except somebody told me he was on one of those like wedding or marriage counseling shows or some shit.
He was with his baby mom, and his baby mom is the RZA's sister. I didn't know until watching the Wu Chronicles on Hulu, and they're like some of them literally are brothers in a way.
Damn, well, I didn't know that. I was just like, that's shocking. He would be on that because he's like in character all the time. You know what I mean? It seems like I don't know.
Yeah, and I've been looking for what show you're talking about. I've been like that's on my like to-do list one day because I just want to see Ghostface and how he's like on this reality show getting marriage counseling.
That's what I mean. Like I can't picture him being like, yeah, I'm just like, man, she doesn't really pay attention to what I'm saying a lot. And I'm just like, it offends me. It makes me feel bad. You know, it's like, I don't feel like Ghostface is going to do that shit.
Yeah, street dudes have hearts too though, man.
He's just like, yeah, shut up, dude.
But I mean, that's what you'd like him to think. Or think, whatever. But on that same day in 1998, Cameron releases his debut album, Confessions of Fire. And I don't know if you fuck with Killer Cam like that, but I sure is down with the Dipset.
Yeah, dude. Dude, I like Killer Cam, bro. To me, my favorite thing about Cameron is his character in Paid in Full. That's like top-notch Cameron, but
Rico.
Yeah, bro.
It's like Nino Brown, Rico, and Bishop, Pac and Juice, man. Dudes die every day, B. You be all right.
Yeah. But I didn't remember this album, but I listened to it one day while I was working, and it's got the intro skits hilarious. I'm scared, B. I'm scared, B.
Motherfuckers gonna see, yo. It's about to be my time. But the breakout single was the Horse and Carriage with Mace. I remember hearing this on the radio, 107.3, I believe. Horse and Carriage,
the Juice,
Senorita, we gonna rise to the top. Him and Mace were basketball teammates in high school, man. They're both from Spanish Harlem. And so that was their connection, the collabs in the early Cameron days. But as you hear on this, he hadn't figured out his flow. He has a very unique flow.
Yeah.
And I think that didn't come into fruition until Come Home With Me, which didn't happen in the 90s, but that was his magnum opus with Oh Boy. And he started being with Rockefeller. But yeah, man, like I said before, Cameron, one of the few people to put Ray Liotta in a bar. And for that, I am forever appreciative. Cameron Giles. It had a gravy Yoda. It looked like Ray Liotta, some shit like that. I was like, whoa. Dude.
That sounds like Cameron right there. That's great, dude.
Yeah, that's that Cameron charm right there, man. But also in 1998, Eagle Eye Cherry releases the album Desireless, and no one gave a fuck. Not you, not me. I couldn't give one fuck, two fuck, red fuck, blue fuck. I just remember seeing this pretty fucking motherfucker all over the different CD warehouses and whatnot. But the album can suck my dick, just like This World. In 1998, on that same fucking day, the OG Nate Dogg releases G-Funk Classics, volumes 1 and 2.
And it is that, Steve. I mean, there's 2 discs, and I can't tell you. There's probably let me bring up. Let's see how many tracks are on this completely. There's 16 on one disc, so we got 31 songs on this, and maybe there's 3 that you can flip off. But even the ones, I mean, Nobody Does It Better. That's something that that got more famous than this double disc album. I heard that before I heard this.
Right.
But I mean, right away, there's a song called G-Funk. Amazing. The one that's like, G is for the gang of money I make. F is for the hookers. That First We Pray, that shit's dope. Crazy Dangerous is dope. Dirty Hose Draws, Steve.
Dirty Hose Draws.
It was a dirty hose draws. It was the cause of it all. I mean, even like to me, that's the one thing I wanted to bring up. Like some of these songs you listen to, they're good songs. But I feel like, were they laughing when they were like making these? Because like that one especially, it's just fucking funny as fuck.
Well, I mean, and it's Nate Dogg, so like he's singing something like that, and then he's like a straight up like dude, you know what I'm saying, being serious and shit, gangster as fuck. But like it was very melodic, man. I didn't get to listen to all of this either, man. But the album is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like you said before, man, this sounds like an obligation. Like nobody like actively releases this much of their material for one project.
I mean, sounds like though, like to put it all there, like the fact that this wasn't at the top of the charts, it's something like I never even fucking heard of it, Steve. Like I never heard of it at all. So, but one funny thing that it's just so fucking cheesy, but dude, like when I lived in LA and I had to take the bus to work and shit. At one point I was too broke to take the bus, so I would like run to work because it was like 2 miles away, or ride a bike. And there's a song called My Money on the second disc of this. It's the most inspirational song for people like us of all time. So if nothing else, listen to that song and it'll get your motor running. I'm telling you.
And which one was that?
It's called My Money, Steve. I'm gonna make my money. I'm telling you, Steve, the beats, it's like it's got that old school West Coast beat. It's perfect. This is one of the like few double discs where you don't have to just like channel surf on it and go from like, click past like 5 songs. That honestly, you could just listen to this for 2 hours and be fine.
Hell, this is a joyride, man. It's Nate Dogg. You don't skip Nate Dogg anything, bro.
And it's got a lot. I mean, Tupac's on it. Fucking Snoop's on it a couple of times. Warren G's on it, and like all the like Daz and Corrupt and all those dudes. So it's worth it. If you haven't not heard this fucking album, I'm telling. If you don't even this podcast, if you listen to this, listen to that. You can thank us later.
Because if you don't know, now you know. 2 hours and 15 minutes, man. That's longer than the first Friday. That's probably longer than all of the Fridays. That's more of a. I need to hurry up and get the fuck away from Suge. Here's all of my shit. But in 1998, Jermaine Dupri releases his album Life in 1472. And I don't come to Jermaine Dupri for his music as an artist. I appreciate his shit as a producer with other artists.
And a feature every once in a while, that one he did on the Blueprint, the whatever, that one he did with Jay-Z. That one was pretty dope.
Well, that song's on there. Money Ain't a Thing.
Yeah.
Y'all going to bounce with us. And luckily, on his part, man, he had a gang of features from great artists. Turn It Out featuring Nas, Money Ain't a Thing featuring Jay-Z, Get Your Shit Right featuring Mad Rapper and DMX. He had Slick Rick, Mariah Carey, 8 Ball, Too Short, Young Bloods, Da Brat, Crazy Bone, Keith Sweat, Mace, Lil Kim, Usher, Latasha Scott from Escape, and Warren G, Nate Dogg, or Warren G and Snoop Dogg.
Damn, I might need to. I actually, because I'm not that big of like you. If he's on a song, cool, and some of his like producing shit, but I didn't know about this. That sounds dope.
Yeah, like that's the best way for somebody like that to put out an album as an artist. Because, like, dude, we don't check for you. Like, you're known as like the guy in the back saying, take that and shit.
Well, even before like Pharrell got super famous, they did that Star Trek album where it was just like every song just had like fucking a shit ton of fucking features on it. That's one of my favorite albums from back in the day.
You also talking about Pharrell. He built different.
Why, Steve? Don't talk bad about Pharrell.
I'm giving him flowers.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, you comparing these dudes to like he built different. Like, he can do he can name an album Jizz on Wax and be like, shit, that's it. This new
dude,
shit.
I would listen to that in a heartbeat. Jizz on Wax, Steve.
Shit, it's still Pharrell, right?
I mean, maybe we need to put that out, Steve. Let's make an album, Jizz on Wax,
by Mother Bastard. Yeah, man, just wait and see. But somebody who probably didn't listen to Wu-Tang Killer Bees, Big Smash, Mike, Eagle Eye Cherry, Nate Dogg, or Jermaine Dupri was probably Alan Shepard, because he was the American Admiral pilot and astronaut. He died from chronic lymphocytic leukemia.
Oh shit!
Age 74.
Yeah, he had it's not exactly what I had, but he had blood cancer. That sucks. Look at him, dude. Damn, fucking astronauts, bro. I wish you could just like be able to talk, or like somebody could talk to these people and just be like, were you fucking like shitting yourself?
You had to,
like they're just like, I don't want to hear like the patriotic, like it was an honor to serve my country and go and explore the outer space, whatever. It's like, I want to hear somebody be like,
you want the Harry Carey questions?
Yeah, like, were you just about to fucking just like shit yourself, jizz your, like, what happens when you take off and like go to outer space? What happens?
Are there vacuums in those things that suck any of that possible shit or jizz up?
Like, what happens if you do shit yourself? Like, does that just start plopping around and what? These are the questions of idiots, but these are the things I want to know. This, Steve. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. Did you try to fuck on the moon?
Did you beat off while you were in space? You have to. Just
to see where it goes,
Or just like, yeah, seeds. Like what happens? Does the bus like shoot you backwards? You know what I mean? Like, does the jizz go forwards or do you go backwards? You know what I'm saying?
Interstellar shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alan Shepard. I hope you're fucking above the moon at this point. And also in 1998, Anal Cunt releases the album Picnic of Love. And I don't know anything about Anal Cunt. I just wanted to say that really bad. And it's ironic album cover. But someone who probably didn't listen to that shit either is Robert Young, American actor and singer. He died of respiratory failure at the age of 91. He was the guy from Father Knows Best. He was the father. And he's an early TV silver screen star, and when shows were corny as fuck and people just laugh because everyone in the studio audience laughed. Oh, it's okay, Molly, sit on my lap while I'll smoke a pipe and finger your butthole. He touched me there. But yeah, Robert Young, I hope you weren't doing that in real life, and if you weren't, bankhead bounce. So now here we are. We're at the finale of our verses. We are at 2-1. You kicked my ass again, sir. We'll let you have it.
Oh, the red, white, and blue, the funny things you do. America, this is you. It counts, Steve. It counts. America's Funniest Home Videos, Steve.
Oh, man. Really, I do.
What?
Okay.
What?
I already know.
What do you got? Because it ain't going to beat that.
Man, shout out to Bob Saget, man, Danny Tanner and the thing. Fuck it. I fucks with you, cuz, but like, dude, I already know I won this round, man, because the staple, the longtime staple of TGIF. Oh my god, bro. Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene.
It's the bigger love of the family.
You gotta sing it like a runaway slave.
It's
Like,
the bigger family. I can't even hate on that. See, I didn't even pick that because I was like, there's no way that we're both not gonna pick it. So I'm gonna take one L.
Okay,
So this was a pre-planned L, Steve. I'm a mastermind. I'm in your head.
You're a championship athlete. That's a team player shit. You're on some Robert Ory. Like you took one for the team, man.
I mean,
like,
you had some fucking bangers, Steve, but you're going up against. I don't even know where I plucked these from. I don't normally feel like I can just pull them out, but yeah, Family Matters. That could be that might be the greatest one. And I honestly, I'm not going to besmirch my number one. I'm a little shaken, Steve.
Well, yeah. Shaken. I mean, Laura the douchebag, the sis of Eddie, the sis of Judy, the big cousin of Edgy, of Richie, Laura the douchebag. She's the biggest bitch in the family. Okay, so since I won that one, I'm going to go to my number one. And dude, I don't even think this needs an introduction. I thought this one was going to be our one. And it stars the young Willie from Philly. It's probably, you could argue this is one of the most recognizable rap songs, even though it wasn't a rap song. It's a rap song. Now, here is a story all about how my gift size isn't fucking big enough for my monitor.
Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.
But dude,
fuck, Steve. Did I just lose this?
There's New Zealanders who know this intro, man. Like,
fuck. Strategic fuck up on my part, but I would argue that the song I'm about to tell you about is maybe not as catchy, not as prolific on the Billboard charts, but in the hearts of 90s kids, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
Fuck you, Steve. Turtle power. I'm telling you. I don't know. Kendra.
That's the most gangster cartoon song, in my opinion. It's straight to the point. You introduce your people. Like, this motherfucker does machines. This dude's the leader. This motherfucker like to party, do cocaine, and eat pizza and shit. And this is the one that cusses. And they were raised by a rat.
That's a fact, Jack. So I don't know. You know what, Steve? I'm gonna graciously, because I have to be a realist here, and I'm a human being. I have to say that you've won this round, Steve. And in winning this round, you actually have won this contest. Man. Somehow, from this fucking clutches of a goddamn DuckTales, where I thought the world was mine, Steve, you've snatched victory from my clutches.
As Wesley Pipes would say, you knew it was coming, bitch. You knew it was coming, bitch.
You know you don't fucked up, right?
Yeah. Just some pussy. Just some pussy. Where'd my dick go? Oh, you a magician? Oh, there my dick go. Oh.
Fresh out of respect.
Yeah. You knew it was coming, bitch. You knew it was coming. Yeah. Oh man.
Damn it, Willie. Steve. God damn it. Well, you know what? It is what it is. This is a lesson to everybody out there. Don't get cocky. Don't think you've won everything just off of one round. And clearly, we should have done 10, because I'm curious now, who are your honorable mentions that you haven't mentioned yet, Steve?
Well, I mentioned Darkwing Duck. And I forgot to mention, this was an honorable mention because it's very short. It's the NBA on NBC. Shout out to John Tesh. This whole time, I thought you were a big fucking dork, and probably you are. But for just that entry into this world, flowers.
The Tesh man. Okay.
And like the vignette, you're seeing the best of the best. You're seeing Isaiah Thomas and Magic and Larry and Matt and Mike and Scotty and Charles, and oh man, I want to watch some basketball now. Yes.
Give me a hooker. Yes. Okay. Well, what else you got though? What were your other ones? Just
Tiny Toon Adventures. It's very recognizable, and they have a lot of characters that they give you the deets on, all within that short theme song. Like, you got this motherfucker doing this shit, we got this motherfucker doing this shit, this motherfucker doing, like, and then yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that all of them? Is that your honorable mentions?
We're freestyling, man. Living Single, that's up there.
I got that one too. God damn it. Hell yeah.
There's
hanging with my I just sang Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I don't know why I just did that. So that's one of my honorable mentions. The good version, because there's a shittier version that's not as good. But the one with Soul.
Cooper.
Hanging with my
so far.
So that, and this one musically not the best song, but Salute Your Shorts. That's pretty, Camp Anawana. Number 3 on the honorable mentions, Captain Planet. And I didn't want to do it because I was like, I'm picking all cartoons, but
a lot of cartoons had hits.
Gummy Bears also, Drew Carey Show also. And those were my honorable mentions.
Damn. I forgot about you, Drew.
I was gonna put him on there because when I lost Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I was like, fuck. And I put Saved by the Bell up there, which I think was good, but like I said, I got cocky, Steve. Got cocky.
And Cleveland does rock, man. And my brother and me, that's a
hell yeah.
That's an underground gym. I like that one. There's too many, man. Cops.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, that shit got fucking that. They featured that in a fucking other movie, fuck
yeah.
And with 90's legends. So there's a weird little turnaround.
Any callbacks, takeaways, condoms, or concerns?
I just want to apologize again to Ernest Dickerson for just like I loved me some Robert Rodriguez. There were directors I know and love, like Quentin Tarantino or Paul Thomas Anderson. And I had no fucking idea that 3 movies that I hold near and dear to my heart that are notably from the 90's all came from the same person. And I am fucking apologizing to this man. This man is a legend. So shout out to Ernest Dickerson. You already are widely known as a legend, but
yeah, man,
I'm slipping. Who knew he directed the Damon Wayans Adam Sandler classic Bulletproof, Steve? That if you wanted a VCR, I'd send it to you right now so you could watch it.
I will watch. I will watch too. And I'm gonna watch it. And Juice. I mean, I knew he was the director of Juice, man, and that's probably my favorite Tupac movie because he just played Bishop with such conviction, man. One of my takeaways today is The Real World, San Francisco, 1994. They air the episode from a 6 to a 9 and back again. Judd pursues romantic opportunities, and with housemates communicating with Puck to be difficult, Puck goes to court to address his required drunk driving rehabilitation. He's later offended when only Rachel attends his soapbox derby, but the cast feel he's playing the victim for not being able to monopolize all their time. And this is when the rift between him and Pedro starts. And so yeah, I feel like that deserves an honorable mention. I know, fuck Real World, right? You could suck my dick. Be careful about San Francisco. They might take you on that offer. But also some good news, some light at the end of this fucking tunnel. The book is out.
Yes.
1,000 Dirty Jokes and One-Liners. It's available on Audible. It's available on Amazon. It's available at your mama's house. And it's 5 hours. Like I said, man, please reach out to us if you want the code, because I got the code. You ain't got to pay the full fee. It's kind of on me, but 1,000 dirty jokes and one-liners for adults only. Authored
Check it
by
out.
Sin
Give
Sharp.
fucking Steve boost this thing up. This is
No
this is
doubt.
amazing. Congratulations, dude. No jokes at all. Like that's fucking dope, dude. That's the first one you've done. So
The first
that's
nut,
the first
man.
step. You're about to be a fucking voiceover superstar, dude.
Cherry popped. And I haven't promoted it online yet because I'm trying to catch up with the rest of life, which can suck my dick. But this book doesn't have to suck my dick. It should be bought by you all and listened to. You can smoke about it. You can ride around with it. You can fly around with it, especially if you get it streaming on Amazon or Audible. Just, get your earbuds or what have you. And the jokes are going to fly.
They're gonna fly.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations, man. That's check it out. 1,000 dirty jokes and one-liners voiced by the vivacious, the congenial, the fucking stud himself, Steve, the Macho King G.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment from time to time. And listen to Over the Culture on Sundays with me. Crushgasm with Wednesday on Crushgasm with Kendra on Wednesday. Don't Worry, Be Movie with Amanda and Wade. And B3F Podcast with Joey and Steve. Y'all be cool. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s. The world can suck my dick.